What's up, level heads? You're watching Level 2.0 Fan Access. Hey guys, how you doing? Matt Clennan here, founding member or a former member of Level 2.0. Currently the only member of Infidel. I'm in the comfort of my own home, so I'm kind of just relaxing right now. I'm just gonna sit here like this, if that's cool with you guys, and talk to you for a minute about. Well, we'll start with the remix that I just did for Mike's new release, Subsphere. I remixed the track Nostalgia. Now, funny story behind this track, me doing this remix. It didn't start out that way. Originally, the idea was for me to do just make my own tracks, whatever, and just kind of go along with starting Infidel. I was having a hard time. I was getting stuck a lot. Writer's block. I was kind of relearning things in a way. You know, I mean, I really spend more time DJing than actually making tracks over the past few years. So I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what, man? Let me just walk away from this for a second. Stop. You know, let me call Mike and just be like, hey, man, look, what the hell am I doing? You know? And it's funny, you know, that I'm going to him for music advice. But, I'm not too proud. I'm not like that. So I called him up and I said, you know, man, I'm kind of stuck on this track. I'm having a hard time. You know, what do I do? And he said, you know what, man, why don't you try remixing one of my tracks that's coming up for the new release? And I said, all right. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to help, but, you know, and he said, look, what it'll do is it'll give you something to go by. Track's already made. You know what I mean? The vocal's already there. You could just kind of learn and build around it, which is exactly what happened. So he was right. I know he loves hearing that, but he was right. He was right. He was right.
He was right. He was right.
He was right. He was right. He was right.
So he was right. He was right.
He was right. He was right.
He was right. He was right. He was right.
So in doing this remix, you know, I wanted to touch on doing a couple of things a certain way. I really wanted to make this track kind of like old school Level 2.0, but new school Infidel, like kind of just, you know, still giving both sounds at the same time. I really enjoyed doing this remix. I hope you guys give it a listen, and please listen to it at an appropriate volume. This track is definitely not meant to be played quietly. I played it at the club recently, and I really enjoyed the way it sounded. It sounded awesome on the dance floor. People responded well to it. So, you know, even though it's a slower track, 112 beats per minute is usually, that's borderline for me. So, you know, I just give it a listen, you know. Definitely listen to the entire album. Especially listen to, believe it or not, I think this is the way it should be done. This is between us, alright, you know, Mike and, you know. But, listen to his first, then listen to mine. Alright, because they're actually, they're polar opposites, man. They're not even the same, which is cool, because it's like, I don't know what it is, but you take his vocals, right, and you put them in, you know, after having the remix. Trust me, I didn't even think it was going to work. But, for some reason, I was like, wow. I'm like, you know, this is actually, like, it's funny how all of a sudden his vocals seem much more aggressive. Meanwhile, they're not. They're exactly the same as they are on the other track. So, in the original track. So that, you know, that was interesting to me. You know, I was glad to wrap it up. Did it very last minute, you know, wrap up on it, kind of like the night before or something like that. But you know, it got released at the, you know, at the right time. So if you guys listen to it, please, you know, I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Let me know what you think of it, and you know that there's more to come, even from Infidel. Which far as Infidel goes, I want to give you guys a quick background on it, so you understand what the situation is going to be with Infidel. It's based on, I guess you could say, my experiences. Infidel is basically the soldier, the American soldier. The enemy in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's what they referred to us as. And I will say the word enemy, like it or not. I'm not a PC person. I don't deal in that kind of nonsense. I just tell you how it is. So, it's based on experiences and stuff like that, from a soldier's perspective, in a foreign land like that. No news report could ever paint a picture, the right way. It always sucked. I hated the news. The only thing, if you ever watch something like Restrepo, or if you talk to a combat vet who was willing to share his story, you might get an idea. Hollywood does not do a good job. The media does not do a good job in terms of letting you know what it's like to be in a situation like that, or be in a country where everything is the way it is there. So the idea is based on the soldier's perspective. That could be anything from being in that situation, maybe even a couple of months before leaving, knowing you have to go, to coming home and it's difficult, or the turmoil in your relationships, as you're coming home and you're trying to adjust, the type of mistakes you make. We're not all perfect, so things happen. But an insider's view, there's a lot that the combat soldier keeps inside, and I feel that way too. But the reality is I want to share that. Like, I don't want to be silent. Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I get it, but I don't want to be silent about it. And I think there is no better expression. Some might say art, but I think there is no better expression than music. Especially if you're creating the track yourself from scratch, no band members, just you, composing everything, and laying it out lyrically and recording it vocally, and doing this 15 times and releasing an album. It's going to tell a story from front to back. There are a lot of bands out there who they talk, and I want to put this out there. I'm not knocking anybody, but the thing is that there's a lot of bands who talk about the battlefield and the this and the that. Listen, man, that's all fine and well. But if you want the story told right, get it told from someone who's stood on those grounds, or who's been in those boots, who's carried the load, whatever, that's where you're going to get your real story. So when you hear an Infidel track, and it's talking about something like that, know that it's a real story. It's not going to be, some made up BS, or like I watched Black Hawk Down and, I'm suddenly inspired. No offense to anyone who does that. I'm not being a dick. I mean that. I'm just saying from my perspective, it's just going to be the real deal Holyfield. Okay? So I wanted you to know that. Other than that, that's pretty much what Infidel's story will be. The music will be I'm not going to compare it to anybody. It's not going to work that way. I will say that it will be EBM, industrial. It'll be dance floor related. There'll be a couple slow tracks here and there. Everything's pretty much going to be kind of like hard. I don't know. I'll just kind of let you listen to it when it happens. The first thing I want to do is I want to release a single. The single will be based on the first track that's being made, and it's called Strike. Strike is going to be the single. I'm going to ask for remixers. I want to get remixers from wherever. I want your average Joe who's starting out doing his thing, man, I want him to remix the track. I want real people involved. You know what I'm saying? I want them to know that, like, it's not about that, man. It's about, a chance to to do something. It's, I'm not sitting here going to be selective. The only thing I will be selective about is that I will choose a couple of those that are like that to be on the single. I want that to, I don't know, I want that to be an incentive for having done it. I'll release it with that. This will be a digital only release. I will be releasing it on Bandcamp through Nemesis Digital Music. Obviously, Nemesis Digital is going to be, that's level 2.0. That's us. That's me and Mike. It's been since the beginning. So I'm not going anywhere with that. Like, I don't care about your labels. I'd rather it just be us. We know how to take care of each other and our fans. We don't need a label to do it for us. Also, I want to touch on one other thing. This single that I'm going to put out, I'm going to try to find out how I can do this. I have a lot of connections in the veterans community, so I'm going to push that way. I want half of any of the profits that come in, I will automatically donate, and you guys will see. I will even give you a live receipt of what is and what's going where, just so you know. Not to say you have to do it for that reason, but know that I'm a very conscious veteran, and I look out for the guys coming home, and to try to make their experience as easy as possible, wounded or not. I think it's important that we take care of our soldiers that defend us on a daily basis, because trust me, when I say you have no idea what they go through unless you've been there, you have no idea. So it could be the littlest thing, like, you don't understand, just missing your family. It's like, it's hard, man, to just be away from home that long in such a shit area. So I want to be able to push towards things like the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign War, the American Legion, AMVETS, Wounded Warrior Project, and a few others, and try to help make this transition for them easier. So I know the proceeds won't be a shit ton, but whatever we can donate, we're going to do it. Like I said, half is going to go, maybe even more. I don't even know. I'll figure it out. It might even be more. I may even do 100% of the proceeds. Fuck it. So, I want to help veterans out, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying you have to do this for that reason. Just love Infidel for its music and what it's about and the story that it tells. But also love it because it's personal. It really is. It's Chris Kyle wrote a book, and they made a movie about him, after he was ridiculously killed, this is going to be my story. Like, it's going to be here through Infidel, through the music. It'll be there, for you guys to listen to enjoy, to dance to party to get upset to, but also to take in, basically almost like